Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody is well.
It must be said. He just told me to take her out.
Yeah, she was coming over being a pain like she always is, but she's just a very needy cat. She's a good cat though. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome. So we're going to be talking about after S.H.T.F. what happens if you get sick or you get hurt. So we're going to talk about that a little bit here in just a minute. I think it'll be an interesting topic because I think it's something that I don't think a lot of people think about, especially our lone wolves that think they're going to go out there and just be rocking and rolling. Okay, so we're going to get into that in just a second. But before we start, I would just ask everybody, um, very family oriented channel, guys. So please be kind to each other and please be decent in your comments. No racism, anything stupid like that, because if you do, my moderators will boot you out. I have great moderators, they stay on top of stuff, which is fantastic, and I do appreciate them. So just let's keep that in mind, okay? And of course, there's going to be somebody that's going to come in and be stupid, but they will get rid of them as very quickly as we can. So uh, that's the good thing about it. So, like I said, I got great moderators. So, anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you guys liked the chicken video that I did this morning. Just kind of showing you our morning routine of what we did with the chickens. So, it's just kind of fun and stuff like that. Okay, so let's. What I wanted to mention one thing before we get on topic. So when I was at the store today and I couldn't find them, and of course, as soon as I turned the camera off, I found the yeast packages. They have an expiration date. They're like it said 2020. Now, my advice to anybody is you get some of them, and then make sure you pay attention to that because that yeast will not last long after that expiration date on them. It's just the way that they are. So to make sure you're having something that's going to be working, definitely keep that in a rotation. That's something that's really, really important because making bread after S.H.T.F. Is going to be a vital thing. So keeping an eye on that, those yeast packages. They're good to have, but they need to be within that time frame. Okay, so let's get into the topic. We're going to talk about what happens if you get sick or hurt after S.H.T.F. And so we're going to talk about lone wolves in the beginning here, guys. And there's been a lot of people that I've heard, well, it's just me and my family, and we're going to just be us, and I'm not going to worry about anybody else. So here's something I want you to think about. Now, a lot of us preppers are older. We're not in the best of shape. And so, and I include myself in that as well. I mean, I'm not 25 years old anymore, and I don't go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week anymore. So, you know, it is what it is. We're carrying extra weight and those type of things. Now, we got to think about it. In an S.H.T.F. situation, you're going to be a lot more physically active than you're used to being. So that's something that you really want to try to work on ahead of time if you can, to get yourself into better shape, because if all of a sudden you go from inactivity to doing a lot of strenuous activity, you're going to have a lot more heart attacks. You're going to have a lot more pulled muscles. You're going to have a lot more people having strokes because they're not used to doing that and they're putting in that extra effort and stuff like that. Now, you're also going to get people that are going to thrive in that situation, that are going to drop weight like crazy. They're going to get in phenomenal shape in a hurry because that's your choice. You're going to drop dead or you're going to get physically fit. That's realistically how it's going to go. So your lone wolf people out there that think that they're just going to go ahead and, be on their own and not worry about anybody else. Well, you twist that ankle one time and now you have that mechanical injury. Who's going to take care of you? Okay. So, like I said, again, people are going to get sick. They are going to get hurt. You're going to have people that are going to continue to have problems. If somebody has a pancreatitis or if they have an appendicitis, okay, something that like an appendicitis right now is not a big deal. You go to the hospital, you get it taken care of, and boom, they're going to be, fine. But in a post-event, that's life-threatening. JJ just said botulism will be a big problem. You're absolutely right. You're going to also have a lot of dysentery. You're going to have a lot of people that are going to get things, and even a minor injury can be very serious in a post-event. You are absolutely right, Kevin. That's a great comment because it's very, very true. A cut, a scratch that we think nothing of now, gets infected, gets septic, and then you're dead. These things are going to happen. When I've said before, in a post event, a lot of people are going to die of stupidity. Really simple, minor things that now are not a big deal are going to be very, very life threatening in a post event. Again, that's why it's so important, number one, to have a group, because you have people to pick up the slack for somebody that's hurt or sick. Now let's think about this, okay? If you get a viral bug, some kind of, and I'm not talking like the flu, I'm talking a virus, some kind of virus, that you're looking at 2 to 10 days of being out of commission with some kind of a virus, okay? Again, some kind of flu-like situation, again, it could be from 2 days to 2 weeks with a flu type of situation. So, again, if you don't have the right kind of medication for that, if you don't have a way to deal with that, you're going to be a hurting puppy. And if there's nobody there to pick up that slack, those things are going to take people out. People are going to die from having a fever. People are going to die from that, because it's like, if there's nobody there to help them, what are they going to do? Okay. Women are going to die in childbirth. The childbirth mortality rate is going to go through the roof. Women are going to die. The children are going to die. You get a breech birth, you're going to lose both of them if you're not careful. Okay. So those are things that I think a lot of people don't think about. So having medical professionals in your group, I think, is really, really, really important. As you guys know, I'm a nurse. So it's like, we always used to joke around. I said, in a post-event, then I become the doctor. Because, if we don't have anybody else medically that's more advanced than I am in that type of an event, it's you're going to have those type of issues. So, then all of a sudden, I go from being the nurse to now I'm the doctor. So again, your roles are going to be totally different at that at that point in time. So those are things I want you guys to think about. Okay, a lot of strange things like that can really truly happen once that time comes, and we need to be really aware of it. We need to try to be as ready for that as we can be. So how do you get ready? How do you get ready for that type of thing? Okay, so again, if you can have antibiotics back. And we've talked about antibiotics a lot. And so, if we can have antibiotics back, that's a good thing. Other medical supplies to try to be as ready as we possibly can be, those are good things as well. So, somebody just said, first aid books and printed PDRs. Exactly, Robert. That's a great comment. And you're 100% right. The more information that you have for that type of a situation, the better off you're going to be. Okay? So, if you have information that, if say maybe somebody doesn't have a great idea of what they're doing, but if it's written down and you have that first aid book or that CPR manual, mechanical injuries and all those type of things, if you have that information there, it can make a big, big difference in what you're doing. So those are things that you definitely. I once took a first aid and CPR class at the local Red Cross. Yeah, Bruno, that's good. And they give you a lot of information in those type of things. So those are things that you definitely want to, if you can get that information, again, download it, print it off the internet. Again, having it, on the internet is great, but having it in hardcover and having it on paper is going to make all the difference in the world. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about, somebody just brought it up, and I was going to say this as well, 455 Tiger, learn your herbal remedies. Exactly. Learn what plants are going to work for you. Okay, what can be used as what to help out different things. Those are going to be really, really important as well, because modern medicine is only going to be there for so long, and then it's not going to be there, and we have to go back to natural remedies to help people. And so those are things that you need to think about as well. Again, there's going to be a lot of things in a post-event. I mean, just like I said, just with the activity level alone that people are doing is going to be putting a lot of strain on bodies that are not used to that type of strain. So it's going to take some time to adjust, if you will, to those type of things. I mean, it's not like I can go right out now, start digging a ditch, for defensive purposes, let's say, and spend all day long out there digging that ditch and get up the next day and be great to do it again. It's not going to happen. Like I said, I'm not 25 years old anymore, so those things are something that you really want to think about. Goody's headache powder, JJ just said. Yeah, I've heard of that too. That's actually good stuff too. There's a lot of different things, guys, that we can get that are going to make a difference. So doing that research now, getting that information on hand, even if you're just printing it off and setting it aside, that's a real smart thing to do. Absolutely smart thing to do. And guys, if you haven't at this point, if you could shoot me a thumbs up, I would definitely appreciate that. I see we got 95, 96 now thumbs up. We got 264 people already in the chat. So if we could, get that up there, that would be great. Now somebody just said, Sue just said, get to the dentist. Yeah, if you got any kind of dental stuff that you need to have done now, any kind of medical procedures that you've been putting off, something just a minor thing that you need to get taken care of, get those things taken care of. Try to be in the best physical shape that you can possibly be in right now. Be more active, get out there, and like I said, walking and exercising, doing things. Just that physical activity really does make a big difference. Start a hard copy library. Absolutely. Going it old school just said that. Exactly. Get all that information. And I'm talking from childbirth to minor surgeries. All that's printable. All that you can pull offline. As long as you have the necessary equipment, you can pull those things off. Now, are you going to lose people? Of course you are. But in the course of that, are you going to save people? Yes. And that's what we're trying to do. I mean, it's like, I really don't want somebody to die because they got a cut and then it got infected and they got septic and I had to either cut their arm off or they died straight out because of that. I mean, that would be a horrible thing. And there's something, especially if there's something that we could have done to prevent that. So, learning the different things or having it all down in hardcover or having that medical professional. Oh, you're bringing Abel in?
Who did I bring in?
Well, Eddie's coming in to say hi with Abel. Yeah. All right. Going for a walk?
I just came back from a walk.
Oh, you just came back? Okay. Did you have a good walk?
Yeah.
Good. So, corrections nurse said I made a binder for different subjects. That's the way to do it. Absolutely. Get that down. And hardcover, if you can buy, like I said, they got all kinds of medical books out there that you can get as well. And so you can go ahead and get those, hardcovers of different stuff. And that is definitely a smart way of doing it. And if you can do that, that's great. And but like I said, these are things that we got to think about. Having the proper medical supplies, having suture kits, having things to be able to do minor surgeries, having a scalpel. I mean, people don't think about that. U.S. Army Field Surgery Manual is the best book. Scott Denny just said that. Yeah, and he's absolutely right. There's, what do you think of super glue for stitches? I think that if in an emergency, yes, but if you have other options, I would definitely go with other options other than super glue for that. But if you don't have anything else, and that's what you have available, then yeah, that would work, for that time period. The biggest thing you want to make sure is that person doesn't bleed out. You want to make sure an artery isn't ruptured and that person bleeds out really quickly. Accidents are still going to happen. I mean, I don't know what the number is, but think about how many chainsaw accidents happen every single year from people that use chainsaws all the time that know what they're doing, okay? When I got out here, I'm going to be honest with you, I was not really skilled with a chainsaw. I've gotten a lot better. I'm not going to lie, I'm a lot better. Now, would I call myself an expert? No freaking way. Now, Greg lives up behind me. He's a freaking expert with a chainsaw. He knows what he's doing, but he's been doing it forever and ever and ever. And, that's how they heat their home as well, as with wood. And he's got 80 acres of woods, and you need to do a video on CPR, stitching, etc. We need nursing expertise. Mama Bear said that. I do need to do more medical videos. I know that. The main reason that I haven't, when I've done medical videos in the past, nobody cares. Nobody wants to watch them. So that's why I really haven't really done a whole lot of medical stuff as far as that type of thing goes. So, Have you ever think about growing mealworms or crickets for your chickens? Todd just asked that. Todd Hendricks. I have. I may do that with the mealworms. I may do that because I know they love them, and so we'll have to see what happens. But type 1 diabetic, so will be SOL. Yeah, unfortunately, uh, K there. Yeah, it's I'm not trying to be a gloomer doomer, but if you were a type 1 diabetic, the clock is ticking for you when SHTF happens. A lot of people are not going to be here, guys, when SHTF happens. That's just a reality of it. It's not being mean. It's not, but if you have something that is like controllable, like if you are a type 2 diabetic and it's a weight issue, well, that's going to change pretty quickly. So that's I'll see what I can do, Mama Bear. She said, yes, please do it. We need that information. Yeah, people don't realize what they're going to be facing. You are 100% right. There is a lot of people that have no idea what to do, how to do it, how to deal with it. So those are things that, like I said, they're going to be really, really important in that event. Like I said, just thinking about when you twist an ankle. If you don't have the bandages to help with that swelling, or if you don't have anti-inflammatories or something like that, you're going to have issues. And those are things, honestly, that can take people out. Again, if you get diarrhea from drinking tainted water, again, those are things that can take you out. So, being on top of those things and focusing on that, that's going to be really, really important. And like I said, information, information, information. You can never have too much information. And I'm not even just medical information, but on everything, anything that you can think of that you're going to be able to use in a post event, that's great to have in hardcover. I mean, because like I said, the internet's not going to be there. So, you're going to need to have things on hardcover so that you can pay attention to and those type of things. So that's going to be really, really important. So type 2 diabetics will suffer greatly with the lack of insulin or irregular insulin. Kevin H. just said that. You're right, they will. But honestly, when that weight starts coming off, actually, and I'm sure he doesn't mind if I say it. I was talking with Bill tonight, or today during the day with Bill and Rosa, and they have changed their diet. And he said he's down 80 pounds, and he is no longer needs to take his diabetic medication because he got that excess weight off. So, I mean, there's a great example right there. Changing your habits, switching that up now. He's dropped that weight. He's no longer a diabetic. So, and again, that's a type 2 diabetic. But, again, that's something that he had control over and decided to take control of that and do something about it. So, did you mention animal antibiotics recently? I've done a few videos on fish mocks and stuff like that. Yes, I've talked about that. It is something that I keep in my own stores, and I definitely will use that in a post event. Absolutely no doubt about it. It's something that I will definitely use. Yeah, Bill and Rosa have a great channel, guys. I want to put this out here for everybody. If you get a chance, go on over Bill and Rosa. They are awesome, really down to earth people. They're out in Oklahoma, and they're truck drivers. So he doesn't put up daily videos because he's driving truck, but they have a place out there and they've been working on it. Actually, they just put stone in their driveway because they were having a lot of issues with mud and stuff like that. But they're good people, so go over to their channel and definitely show them some support. That's definitely, excess weight is connected to many illnesses. Bruno, you're absolutely right. You know what? Hey, L. Gibson, bought the RN book on RX. What to use for what? Bought large puppy pads for body fluids, shower curtains to separate ill people. Yeah, and again, another thing, that you can get as well. Like, yeah, puppy pads are great for that. If you can buy the blue chucks, those will work too. Those are nice to have. Again, there's a lot of stuff that you definitely need to have. But yeah, shower curtains to separate people. It's a really smart thing to do. So, and thank you for that donation. I appreciate that. There's a nursing medication book you can buy online. Yeah, you can buy all those, and and that'll tell you what the different meds are for and the interactions and stuff like that. But again, those medications are not going to always be there in an SHTF event. Is it good to have that manual so you know what is what? And if you come across some medications and know that, okay, this is for this or this is for that, yeah, that'd be great to have, and it's good information to have. But, again, knowing your herbal remedies, what to use in nature, because nature's not going to go anywhere. And I'll tell you what, in an SHTF situation, you'll be surprised how fast nature will take back over large areas where there's not going to be any people anymore. Amanda Mason just said, learn what wild medical plants that grow in your area. Absolutely. Yep. It's exactly what you should definitely do. Know what's in your area, know what can be used for what, because we're all in different areas of the country. And what I have here in New York, you're not going to have in Arizona. It's a totally different climate. So know what you have in your area that can work for you. So that's really, really smart. Raid the pharmacies if you need to. I'm going to tell you what, Deb. Deborah Hillard just said that, the pharmacies are going to be the first things that are going to be hit, to be honest with you. One of the first things, because your druggies are going to go in there looking for opioids and those type of things. So pharmacies might get cleaned out pretty quickly. If you get that see, what we got to remember, guys, okay, and I've talked about this a little bit, so I'm going to mention it again here because somebody's saying, hit the pharmacies. When S.H.T.F happens, the last place that you're going to want to be is in a large population area. And I'm talking even a town, okay? You're not going to want to be out there because people are going to be, again, what do we talk about? What is the most dangerous people out there? Desperate and scared, okay? And you're going to have a lot of desperate and scared people running around trying to gather everything that they possibly can because they had done no planning ahead of time. And if you're thinking you're just going to stroll into that pharmacy and take what you want, there's going to be 45, 50 other people in there doing the same exact thing. So you might get some stuff, but it would be a very dangerous situation, and it's not worth your life. It's really not. The biggest thing, like I said, only way to hit the store is after S.H.T.F to be in a big crowd of crazy people. Yeah, there's no way. I don't want to be in that situation. What I want to do when S.H.T.F happens, I want to lay low. I want to keep my head down and try to avoid as much nonsense and craziness as I possibly can for as long as I can. You're going to, says, be prepared to fight if you decide to go looting. You're absolutely right. You're going to have armed people that are going to shoot you without even thinking about it. It's going to be a crazy, crazy situation. So, those are things that you really... Honestly, if you really want to look at, because maybe people won't think about this as quickly, going to the animal hospital. Some people may think about that, but there's a lot of medications in an animal hospital as well that can be used on humans if you need to. Deb just said, please do a medical supply video. I can do that. I can definitely do that. Yeah, Kevin H. said the first 7 days will be the most dangerous. I'm actually going to up that, Kevin. I'm going to say the first month, because the first 7 days is going to be chaos. You're absolutely right. But even after that point, you're going to have people, once they start running out of supplies, maybe they have a couple of weeks worth of stuff, and they can get by for that couple of weeks, and then they're going to start getting desperate. That first month is going to be complete and utter insanity. The first 90 days is probably, if you can make it through that first 90 days, I think your chances of survival go up drastically. Then the hunting begins, Kevin H. says. You're absolutely right. So, that first 90 days after a post-event, and I'm talking large-scale, end-of-the-world type event type of stuff, that first 90 days is going to be the most crucial time that you're going to want to try to survive. And get to where you want to be. Surround yourself with the people that you trust and, or that you meet and feel like you can trust, and, go from there. And, but and like I said, my biggest thing is everything that I do, guys, is because I plan on hunkering down. I plan on keeping a low profile. If somebody comes here and tries to do something stupid, they're going to get what they get. And, and that's what you need to do. You need to be prepared to protect what you have, do what you need to do to survive. And, you just can't let people come in and just take your stuff. And I don't care who they say they represent or anything like that. Nobody. You can't let anybody come in and just take your stuff. So you have to be ready for that. And again, if there is, if you got 3 people at your retreat and 100 people come, you're not winning that battle, okay? But if you have 25 people at your retreat and 100 people come, you're in a defensive position. Your situation and odds of surviving that situation are going to greatly increase, because I'm going to tell you what, once you shoot the first 10 to 15 people, the rest are going to run. They're going to look for easier targets. They're not going to try to fight well-organized armed resistance. They're not going to. I'm just telling you, that's the reality of it. And all the people that think that they're going to be, Rambo, that's not reality. Okay. All sides are going to lose people. All sides. It's just the reality of it. It's what's going to happen. People are going to die in an S.H.T.F event. Preppers are going to die in an S.H.T.F event. And again, how will they die? Some will be shot. Some will die of stupidity. Again, mechanical injuries. They get sick. They, like I said, drinking tainted water. Botulism, somebody had said on here earlier. There's a lot of things that can happen that can cause people to die. So again, try to be as smart as you possibly can be. The last thing you're going to want to do is get out there and try to get that last minute stuff. That's what now is for, guys. Now is the time to get as ready as you possibly can be, to be prepared, to have your medical supplies, to have, your guns, your ammo, your bows, enough arrows, your slingshots, your pellet guns, all those things. Now is the time to get that stuff together, So the dead will be better off than the living. You're right about that. Yep. But yeah, somebody just said stealth mode. Yeah, trying to be is like I said, low key is the way to go. Now, the first thing, if and this is a suggestion that I would suggest to anybody, you have a retreat, okay? Well, where I'm at, I have my retreat. There's a roadway in here, but there's also people who come at me through the woods. So what I need to do is I need to have farther out into the woods, I need to have a defensive perimeter. I need to have booby traps set up. I need to have, cans and stuff like that. So if somebody's coming at night, they're going to hit that tripwire. That's why a good thing to have dogs as well. A dog is going to be a good early warning system that trouble's coming. Okay, so that's what my first thing is going to be, is getting those defensive things in place, get them ready, and so people are not just going to be able to try to kind of sneak up on you in the night. All right, so those are things to think about as well. You're going to build your defenses. That's going to be the number one important thing immediately after an S.H.T.F event happens. And again, working with people in your neighborhood if you can. Again, in suburbia, like I said, I lived in suburbia for 8 years, okay? I knew my neighbors on the left or on the right fairly well because our daughters played together. The people on the left of me, it was, hey, how you doing? And that was it with them. They kept to themselves. They had their own family, and they really didn't interact with anybody else. We had an older couple across the street, and then they ended up going into a nursing home, and a new family moved in, and we didn't know them at all. They kept to themselves. There was another group over here that I knew the husband really well. The wife was always gone, but the husband was around, and he was a great guy. So I knew very few people, and I was there for 8 years. Okay, I know my neighbors up here much, much better than I did in suburbia. If you can get away from suburbia, if you can get away from the cities and get out into the country, there's a lot of good people in the country. Now, don't get me wrong, there's bad people out here too. Okay, we got our druggers just out here, just like anywhere else. Okay, you're going to have your bad elements, but you know what? Out in the country, you got a lot more good people. And you know who the players are, the actors, if you will. And so you just know what you have to do at that time when that time comes. And that's important to remember that. Would you do a tetanus shot? I don't do vaccines. I have done tetanus in the past. I have. And, it's that's an individual choice if you want to do the tetanus shot or not. Some people say it's good to have. Some people say it's not. But then, again, you have to look what's in it, what's best for you. I had to have one when I was working. So the last one I got, oh God, I'm trying to think. Maybe 3, 4 years ago, I got one, and they're good for like 10 years. So, so yeah. So it's like I said, that's more of an individual choice, and I'm going to leave that up to you. All the strains of herpes, typhoid, and all the third world countries' diseases will be there. You know what, Uncle Sam, you are absolutely right. There's going to be a lot of diseases out there going around after an event, and things that we thought that we had under control. We're getting people coming across the border, left, right, and center that are not inoculated. They haven't had these shots like everybody else has here in the United States. So those diseases are going to be out there, absolutely. So and who is going to be the most susceptible? The elderly and the young. Those are what you want to think about. Okay. Just wait till the plagues from the bodies from the cities. Yeah, you know what? You're again. We've talked a little bit about city people, and I got nothing against city people. People are people all over the world, but a lot of city people will not wander within 20 miles from that city. They just won't do it. I'm telling you right now. They don't have the skill sets to be out there. They're not used to being in the country, especially if they've grown up in the city their whole life. That's what they know. People are going to stick to. People are creatures of habit. Okay, guys. People are used to what they're used to. They're not going to go out there and it's dark in the country. We had when we brought Noemi and Kendall up here the first time, and we stayed overnight. They were like, they were from suburbia. They were not used to it being pitch black and dark at night, and it scared the crap out of them. So you're going to have people that are going to be really uncomfortable in that environment, and you're going to have country people that are not going to be super welcoming of city people coming out there in a post event. So you're just not going to see those people going very far from what they know, what they're familiar with. Let's see. Clash of cultures will kill most in S.H.T.F. Yeah, you're going to have that. You are absolutely going to have that, and there's no doubt about that. So you're going to have people that are not going to mesh. It's just not going to happen. So country folks are going to probably stick together. Have iodine bottle, alcohol, 91% wash wound. Don't let it sit. Yeah, you're right. It's a very good advice. Yeah, rubbing alcohol, real good thing to have. You got to be able to clean these wounds. You need to have some form of an antibiotic. That's important to have as well. Bacitracin and any kind of antibiotic cream that you can get too. Those are good to have as well. What type of fish mox is best for a variety of infections? I would say get as many of the different kinds that you can. So, because the thing is, different things are going to be working better for different things, and that's probably the best way I can explain it. So, the more diverse that you can get with your fish mox, do it. It's just a smart way to do it. Oh, that's a very Lori and Austin just said I wash too. Absolutely. So somebody else had made a comment, and they didn't do it in the chat, but they did it on my regular channel. And it was a great comment. Nail care, a hangnail. Think about how annoying a hangnail is, and having that pair of nail clippers to get rid of that. Nail clippers are going to be a big thing. You don't want that crap under your nails. You don't want that dirt and stuff under your nails. So being clean is going to be a big important thing. Handling food, you're going to need to make sure your hands are clean when you're handling food. I mean, like if we here's just a great example. Okay, if I go to the store and I buy a bulk pack of chicken, a bulk pack of hamburger, and then I buy a bulk pack of pork chops. Okay, so I'm going to pack up my pork chops first. So I wash my hands. I will pack up my pork chops the way I want to pack them up, and I put them all in the freezer. Then I wash my hands again, and then I'll handle my chicken. Once I'm done handling my chicken and get that all packed up, then I go back and I'll wash my hands a third time, and then I'll do my hamburger. You don't want to have that cross-contamination of stuff. It's not good. So it's really important that cleanliness, we need to continue to do that after an S.H.T.F event. Soap is going to be a really, really good thing to have. Somebody says use honey for antibiotics. Honey has a lot of uses, a lot of uses. Very, very good to have. And yeah, honey's going to be great. Honey's great for wound care. Honey's very good for burns as well. So, but yeah, so those are important things to think about. Absolutely. Epsom salts is good to have on hand. MBG just said that. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Epsom salts are really, really good. Burdock leaves relieve itch from nettles. Okay, there you go. Smitty just said that. Coconut oil is antibacterial. Okay, there you go. Kevin H just said that. So there's a lot of things out there that we can use. So do your research, look into it. What works for me may not work for somebody else, but if do the best you can, And guys, if you haven't yet at this point, if you could shoot me a thumbs up, I would appreciate that. So we're at 198 for thumbs up right now. So if you could shoot me one, that would be awesome. We'll see how high we can get it up tonight. Yep, ticks can give Lyme. Yeah, that's a lot of. I'm going to tell you what. We normally don't have any kind of issue with ticks up here. This year, we have had a lot more ticks this year, on the animals and stuff like that. And so we just got collars for everybody. So they're good for 8 months. Those the Seralto collars. So we just got all of those for the animals. And but yeah, we had on the kittens especially. The kittens had and when I say a lot of ticks, I'm talking 3 or 4 that we've had to pull off the different cats, and that's not normal because like in the last couple of years we haven't had maybe one in a season, and I think this year we've probably pulled off. Heather had a tick on her this year. We got that right away. And where's my collar? Yeah, right, exactly. Heather had a tick on her this year, and we probably pulled 6 ticks off of the cats this year. So for us, that's a lot of ticks this year, which is not normally as bad up here. But we've had a lot of rain this year, so I think that's part of it too. There we go. That's Ryan Dawson just said athlete's foot and/or jock itch will be a big lack from washing ability. Yeah, you know what? Great comment. Taking care of your feet, guys, is going to be a huge thing. You do not want to get trench foot. You don't want to get, athlete's foot. Miserable. That can be very, very miserable. So, again, those are things that you want to make sure that you're really taking care of. I'm telling you what, normally washing yourself is going to be a huge thing, even after an S.H.T.F event. Staying clean. If you can't clean, even if you have, they call it a horse bath, where you take a washcloth and you clean your pits and you clean your private area, that even if that's all you can do, that's something, because those are areas that you're going to have a lot more sweat. You're going to have issues. Again, and taking care of your feet is going to be a really, really good thing. Wood ash makes good foot powder. Oh, that's cool. Karen just said that. That's cool. Very good advice. Yep, very good advice. When hiking, foot powder is a biggie for keeping your feet dry and fungus free. Yep, Sandy just said that. Yeah, I have a lot of foot powder and stuff like that actually packed away. I've had it for quite a while. It's really good stuff to have. Like I said, you have to take care of yourself. If you're having any kind of issues, and again, stupid little things, guys, are going to take people down. Chickens loose in the yard keep ticks away. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't let them run loose. Between the cats, I have neighbors' dogs that run loose all the time. And, I would not be a real happy camper if they were overkilling my chickens. So that's why I'm going to keep my chickens contained, just to keep them safe. Ticks don't like turpentine. Yeah, right. Oh, medicated cornstarch too. Yep, Law and Order Prepper just said that. Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff out there, guys, that we can use. That's going to be a good thing to have. So it's all those things are really, really good to have. We got to think about. There's a lot to think about. I know it can be hugely overwhelming. Okay, so here's a really easy way to do it. Okay, make lists. Okay, so you go. Okay, what do I need for my feet? Okay, so you're going to look. You're going to look at your cornstarch. You're going to look at your foot powder. You're going to look at your athlete's foot powder. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different things that you can use, you know, and you can get your antifungal stuff that you can get over the counter. And so you get those, you put them away, and now you mark those off that list as you do it. Then you go to the next list and you say, okay, what do I need to have for this? And, you know, for like cuts and abrasions and those type of things. So you're going to want to make sure you got your Band-Aids. You're going to want to make sure that you have your antibiotics, that you know, anything that you can get that way, cortisone cream, all those type of things. You're going to want to get those type of things. You know, people that suffer from psoriasis, I mean, think about that. If you have psoriasis, you're going to want to have the medication that you need for that. So again, it's going to be on an individual basis, depending on what your needs are, what's going to work for you. Oh, ringworm and such. That, you know what, Ryan? Great comment. Yeah. So ringworm is going to be a lot more common. People get that. I've seen people that had ringworm. They have stuff that you can have, you treat ringworm with. So again, that's something, again, you might want to get stocked up on, set it aside, and then forget about it. You know what I mean? Those are things that are going to happen. It's just not a matter of if, it's when. Okay. Again, think about. All right. Right now, everybody has, you know, regular electricity in their house for the most part, right? So if you're hot or you're cold, you turn the air on or you turn the heat on, right? And the furnace kicks on and everything's wonderful. Well, now S.H.T.F happens. There's no more power. Now you're trying to heat your home, and you got this old fireplace, let's say, in your house. Now you're going to have to get out there and you're going to have to get wood. And if you don't have wood already there and prepared, that's going to be a number one thing, depending on, you know, what time of the season it is, what season it is too. Is it spring? Is it summer? Is it fall? Or is it winter? All right. So you're going to be out there and you're going to be collecting wood. You're going to be cutting wood. You're going to be carrying wood. A lot more susceptible to, again, pulled muscles, mechanical injuries, hurting your back, slipping with the axe and cutting off your toes or something. I mean, these things happen all the time. You're not used to running that chainsaw, and you get out there and you're running the chainsaw and it kicks back. And I've had it happen. I've had that chainsaw kick back. It's not fun. That's some scary stuff when that happens. You know, if you don't have the proper gear, having chaps for cutting, being out there in the woods cutting. I'll tell you what, I cut through my pants one time with a chainsaw, and I can't believe I didn't cut my leg. I'll be honest with you when it happened, because it cut my pants, but it did not cut my leg. I got really, really lucky. After that, I went 36,000 accidents a year, Kevin H. just said. Yeah, so you know, those things are going to happen. It's not a matter of, they're going to happen. And people are going to lose their lives. They're going to bleed out. If you're out there in the woods by yourself, that's what's going to happen. Now, after I had that first close call with the chainsaw, I went out and I bought chaps. And I'm going to tell you what, guess what? Twice more with chaps on, I've had a kickback that's hit my chaps, okay? Well, guess what? It didn't hurt me at all. That's what the chaps are for. And I'm really grateful that I had them, because I think the other two times I would have probably had a really nasty scar, or I would have been in a lot of trouble. So that's why if I'm going to be out there in the woods and I'm going to do any kind of chainsaw work, I have ear protection on. I have my chaps on. I'm trying to be as safe as I possibly can. So, you know, those things are important. There once was 3 miles in the wood. Once was in the woods 3 miles on a sprained ankle. Kevin H. just said that. Yeah, and I'm sure that wasn't a whole lot of fun trying to walk out of the woods with a sprained ankle. I'm sure that took a lot longer than it did going in there. And especially if people don't know where you are or what you're doing. And there's another thing, communication, guys. Letting people know. And especially, it crawled out, he said. Yeah, I believe it. I absolutely believe it. But you know, if you are in the S.H.T.F situation, teamwork is going to be key. And I'm talking, you're going to minimum of 3 people, 2 working and 1 keeping watch, okay? So if you're out there collecting wood, and say you got 6 people out there in the woods and you're collecting wood, you're cutting, you're going to probably have at least 2 people on guard duty and 4 people working, and you're going to rotate. So everybody's resting by being on guard duty. So let's say, you know, you got 6 of you, and you go, okay, for half an hour, you know, you got 4 people working and 2 watching, then you switch off, and then a half an hour later you do it again. So that way nobody's doing more than an hour straight of work at any one time. I mean, those are things that need to be thought about. And I bet you didn't think about that, okay? But again, those are things that I think about all the time. Keeping people rested. When you get overtired and you're not thinking straight, that's when injuries happen. That's when mistakes happen. So, you're going to have a different mindset than we have now at that time. It's always about being as cautious as you can be. Take your time, be smart, try not to have those kind of injuries. So those are things to think about. You won't survive type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes during S.H.T.F unless you have insulin. Type 2 you can, but like I said, it'll be brutal. You're going to have to, once you lose that weight, you won't be a diabetic anymore. Yeah, type 2, you don't necessarily have to have artificial insulin. Type 1 diabetics, guys, they're on the clock when S.H.T.F happens, unfortunately. Their lifespan is going to be as long as their insulin holds out. And then they're going to die from, lack of having that. So it's unfortunate, but that's reality. We have a lot of type 2 diabetics in the country because we have a lot of obese people in the country. That's a fact. So in a post-event, things are going to change. People are going to lose weight, and they're going to lose weight in a hurry because food's not going to be there. So those are things to think about too. It's going to be difficult to keep your wits about you. Absolutely. Again, if you're guys, think about the fact that if you're not eating properly, you're not getting proper nutrition, you're doing a lot of strenuous activity, you're not going to be as sharp as you normally would be. Now, throw in there that you're exhausted because you're not used to that physical type of activity. It's just an accident waiting to happen. So again, it's a matter of pacing yourselves, not overdoing it, and again, having groups, that's going to be the key. If you have people working on certain chores, that's okay. So today, this group of people goes into the woods to collect wood. Tomorrow, it's a different group of people. So those are things that you want to think about. You don't want to have the same people doing the same things all the time because, again, people get lazy, they get slack, they get careless, and then stupid mistakes happen, and those stupid mistakes are going to cost people their lives. You're going to need a group of people to work together. Yep, it takes a village. Uncle Sam just said that. Everyone is going to feel like the guy that lost the love of his wife and has a love of his life and has a court date next week. Yeah, you're going to feel like crap. You're not going to feel good. It's going to take time for all of us to adjust. So why would you not try to make that adjustment as easy on yourself as you possibly can be? And that's what I think a lot of us out here prepping do. We are trying to make that transition as easy as we possibly can be. And so that's really, really important, I think. Can a family of 4 survive on their own? Joseph, I'm going to tell you what. I don't think so. A family of 4, you're going to need to find a group. That you may survive for a while, but what will happen if it's a group of 4 people? Eventually, a group of nefarious people are going to come, and they're going to take what you have and kill whoever they want to kill and rape the rest of the people. It's going to happen like that, unfortunately. I mean, that's just reality. So if you can get yourself with a group of people as early as you possibly can, your chances of survival are going to go up drastically. They really, truly are. Hey, guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I would definitely appreciate that. So we're at 252 for the thumbs up right now. So, yeah, if you haven't done so yet, if you could shoot me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate that. Body wipes are a good thing to have, and hand sanitizer. Yeah, they're definitely good to have if but again, body wipes and stuff like that are only going to last for so long. So, it's those are things, like I said, again, try to make your transition as easy on yourself and as easy on your group, as easy on the kids as you possibly can be. It's going to be a nightmare, guys. I mean, it's like S.H.T.F is going to be horrible. Terrence just said that. You're right. In an SHTF type of situation, it is going to be horrible. But again, it doesn't have to be as bad. Okay, I mean, that sounds terrible. It's going to still be bad, but it doesn't have to be as bad if we are prepared as best that we can be. Think about this, guys, and we talk about this a lot, and I'm going to talk about it now. When I say we are legion, okay, because we are many, all us preppers out there, all us off-gridders and stuff like that, survivalist type of people, we definitely have an advantage. Absolutely have an advantage. Even if you just started and you have 2 weeks of food and water at this point, it's going to give you an advantage over 95% of the people in this country. So, but being that we are more prepared, being that we're more ready, we are in a position where we can truly make a difference, and we're going to be able to help people make that transition and survive that transition, especially kids. Kids are innocent, guys. I mean, and I'm talking little kids. They're innocent. They have no clue. They don't know what to do. So there's going to be a lot of kids out there that are going to need help. And we're going to be in that position to do something about that. And I think that makes a big, big difference in the long run for everybody. And so I just want people to think about that. We truly can make a difference as preppers, as off-gridders, and that type of stuff. Hey, Vincent, I was at Walmart buying preps and stopped at the farm and bought produce in bulk to dehydrate and can. That's awesome. Very, very cool. That's the best way to do it. We actually hit a farmer's market ourselves today, Heather and I did. And thank you so much for that donation. I appreciate that. But, yeah, we hit a farmer's market today as well. So, and we actually went garage down a little bit today. I'll have to show you. I'll do a video and I'll show you what one of the things that we picked up. I picked up something really cool today. I was really happy, and I got a great deal on it too. I love garage sales. Heather got the lady did a lot of sewing and stuff like that. So Heather was looking at she had bags of fabric and stuff like that. And Heather's like, "Oh, Dad, she's got all this fabric and stuff like that." She goes, "Come and check it out." And the lady says to her, "Well, you know what?" She says, "Let me get a big garbage bag." And she goes, and she had $2 a piece on these bags of fabric. She goes, "We're going to fill up this big bag, and I'm only going to charge you $2. So she gave Heather all kinds of stuff. And then Heather went and picked up she had 3 pairs of socks as well, and they were $1 a piece. And and Heather says, "Well, I want these too." And she's like, "Throw them in the bag." And Heather goes, "Really?" She's like, "Throw them in the bag." So Heather got this big, huge bag of stuff, a lot of fabric and all kinds of stuff for sewing, plus those extra socks for $2. So, I mean, you just can't beat that. I picked up, one of the things that I picked up today, I picked up a Monopoly game, never opened. It still has the plastic around the outside of it, so it's never even been opened. And she had $5 on it, and I said, would you take cheaper? She goes, "How about $2.50?" And I'm like, done. So I got the Monopoly game, never even opened, for $2.50. I mean, you just can't beat it. I love garage sales, guys. It's the absolute best place. Garage sales, estate sales, those type of things. Great places to really load up on your preps and get stuff that you need. And like I said, Heather's a sewer. Heather loves to sew. She's got a couple of sewing machines. She has all kinds of stuff, and that's what she loves to do. And you think about how valuable she'll be in an S.H.T.F situation with just that one skill. I'm not counting everything else she knows, but with that one skill that she has, she's going to be very, very valuable. Oh, flea markets too. Absolutely, Bruno. You're right. Yep. Flea markets are awesome. I love flea markets too. We have a place in Avon, New York, and they do a flea market every Sunday. And we love to go down to that flea market. I've gotten so much stuff out of that flea market. It's a lot of fun. And it's funny. It's and I just want to let you guys know, too, today is my mom's birthday. My mom is 76 today. And what we did, I got her good. She had called me earlier today, and I didn't say anything about her birthday and talked to her. I said, "Okay, Mom, well, listen, I'll talk to you later." So later what I did is I called the kids, and I said, "We're calling Grandma to wish her happy birthday." And, yeah, just let him out, honey. Thank you.
Is he all in?
As far as I know. Yep, as far as I know, he is. So I had the kids call first and wish her happy birthday, and then I told her happy birthday. And she goes, "Oh my God, I thought you forgot." I go, "No, of course, Mom, I didn't forget that. It was so funny." But yeah, my mom's 76 today. I cannot believe it. She's doing good. She hasn't been around a lot this year. You guys probably have noticed because her health hasn't been the best. She's had a lot more medical issues, and she's really starting to slow down. Somebody just said, "I love Yahtzee." Yeah, I have Yahtzee. I buy the extra books all the time. Love those. Those are great to have as well. In a post event, you're going to need board games, entertaining yourself, and doing things like that. So one of the things I want to do here, guys, I want to ask everybody, where is everybody from tonight? Just so we get an idea from what state or country you guys are in. So let's run that like we normally do and just see what everybody has. Let's see, we got Chicago, Julie from Georgia. We got Ohio, Tennessee, Massachusetts. We got Chicago, Georgia, Michigan. It's going fast. Missouri, Texas, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, Minnesota, Arizona, Rhode Island, Northwest Ohio, Pennsylvania, Idaho, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Maine, Jamestown, New York, Connecticut. Let's see. Illinois, Raleigh, North Carolina, Baltimore, Randolph, New York. Let's see, we got Florida, Arizona, Colorado, Cincinnati, Southern Australia, very cool. Ireland, very cool. Canada, Mexico, very nice. Michigan, Indiana, Ontario, Canada again, Pennsylvania, Nebraska, El Paso, Texas, Northeast Kentucky, Tilson, New York, Mississippi, Ohio, Minnesota, Arkansas, Alabama, Philly, upstate New York, Maine, Arkansas. Again, it's just a great example of how diverse we are. But we are like-minded, and that's really, really important, guys. Having that like-mindedness is going to make a big difference, and we can really, really make a big difference. So we're talking about like-mindedness. We have the Prepper Nurse One community on my website at preppernurse1.com. Oh, you're bringing it back again? Bringing Abel in for another hello? All right. He looks like he was sleeping. Was he sleeping?
Yeah. He got woken up by the dogs.
Oh, was he in with the puppies?
Yeah.
He likes to sleep. Abel likes to sleep in with the dogs, so because he's their buddy. But I want to talk about the Prepper Nurse One community on the website at preppernurse1.com. It's totally free to join if you're interested in getting together with like-minded people. It's a great way to do it, and you have to register, but it's totally free. Very private, so it's a great way to meet like-minded people from your state or your country. We have a lot of different groups in there as well. The message boards in there are always going. There's always stuff going on. So my little girl says hi, Ed. Jessica said that. Well, tell your little girl I said hello. Tell her thank you for watching. It's good to have the younger people paying attention to what's going on, guys. Not enough of them are. I did want to mention, too, we are still doing our sale on the website. 20% off all the merchandise on the website as well. And so that's running through August 4th. So if you're looking to add your freeze-dried foods,
or rate, please.
Yes, here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you're looking to add to your freeze-dried foods, it's a good time to do it. And also, if you're looking to get some merchandise, a T-shirt, a Prepper Die T-shirt that we have. It's getting crowded at the homestead with the dogs and the cats on there. So a lot of good little T-shirts there, coffee mugs, and also bumper stickers that we have on the website. 20% off of everything if you're interested. I did want to mention again that we have the get-together coming up August 17th. And I know in today's earlier video I said August 26th or 27th. I don't know why it happens. Brain fart, if you will. I apologize. But August 17th, we're having the Prepper get-together. It's going to be at Letchworth State Park, and it's going to be at Eddie's Pavilion, and that's EDDYS Pavilion. All right. Once you come into the park, it's $10 for a carload, and so it's you come into the park, and it's going to be a great time. They'll tell you exactly where Eddie's Pavilion is. And we're going to have a lot of fun that day. Hopefully the weather's going to cooperate. It should in August. It's usually pretty dry in August. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that it's going to be a nice day. But make sure you bring your swim gear because I have a pool there as well, so you can go swimming and stuff like that. So It's a beautiful park, absolutely beautiful park. So, again, if you're interested, everybody's welcome to come. The only thing that we ask is that you bring a dish to pass. I will be providing hot dogs and hamburgers, and obviously the buns and condiments, ketchup and mustard, and also a little prepper lady said she's going to bring pop and paper products, so we will have those there as well. So if you want something to drink, a beer or something like that, or liquor or whatever, you have to bring your own booze. We're just going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. I don't know if we're going to be able to live stream from there or not. We may try, but I will definitely try to get some video of everything that we're doing that day. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, so each state should do a get together. That would be cool. Yeah, that would be very, very cool. Yeah, that would be very cool. Somebody should definitely try to organize that for the different states. Do that in the groups because there's a lot of different people, and if you can get together in your own state, that would be awesome. And if you guys let me know where you're at and when you're going to do the event, I will see if I can try to make it. I'm not sure if I could, but if I can, I would definitely love to get together and do that. I think that would be a lot of fun. Like I said, it's a great way to interact with like-minded people where we're all crazy in our own way, but we all have that same mindset, and I think that that's an awesome thing. So, yeah, there is camping at Letchworth. So, and there's campsites all over. Somebody just said the campsites are booked. All right, but there's other places around there that you can actually camp as well. So you just have to look around and see. But like I said, it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you would like to come, like I said, everybody's more than welcome to come. So anyway, so that is that. But yeah, weird water bugs out there. I know there's a lot of different stuff. People swimming in different areas that have had a lot of issues. I've seen that, and it's kind of scary. But I think in a pool with the chlorinated, as much chlorination as they have in pools, I think it should be okay in a swimming pool. About as far as the creeks and that type of stuff, with who knows what's in those things these days. Scary stuff, a lot of scary stuff. So, but all right, guys. Well, anyway, it is 9 o'clock, so we're gonna wind this down here. Thank you everybody for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. I love the Preppreneurs One family. We're this huge family, and it's awesome. Great people, and I think working together is really, really a good thing. And trying to connect with people, I think it's awesome. Okay, so remember, guys, we are all in this together. That's important to remember. And again, if you haven't shot me that thumbs up yet, please do so. That would be awesome. And remember, like, comment, and share. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that. Make sure you hit that bell notification, and make sure you hit it so that you're getting every notification, because I have like 3 settings on there. So make sure you're on the right setting, that you're getting all the notifications, okay? Also, guys, remember, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. That is important to remember as well. Also remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there is yourself. Nobody else can stop you. Stay positive. Stay away from them negative people, because all they want to do is bring you down to their level because they're miserable. So just don't let them do that, okay? I will see you all tomorrow. I hope everybody is doing great. I hope everybody has a great weekend, all right? Preppreneurs One, out for now.